right.
All right. Take two. Is this live?
No, this is the old one. Streaming's
hard, okay?
getting all the right settings.
Hopefully our 4 people that joined us last time join us again. See, that's perfect. That's going very cleanly. And if we have a look at this one, I mean, it's only showing that, but it looks like it's clean. All right.
And the sound works as well.
The sound works. Awesome. As I said last time we tried to go live, thank you so much for joining us for a brand new, very special, not brand new, that implies that it's actually going to be a recurring thing. But welcome back to the Supabase Happy Hour. We used to run these weekly streams with myself, Alistair, and also Tyler, who will hopefully join us in the chat again soon. And yeah, we used to do this weekly, which was really fun. We still could do it weekly. I guess it's
how long
online.
did we do it for?
We did it for like 6 months or something.
Yeah, quite a while. It was we had some good times. You know,
I think we got over like 50 episodes, didn't we?
Did we
did
really?
We?
I think we might. That's crazy.
Yeah, it was going for a while. And then Alistair did this dumb thing and moved away. And
even though we
Singapore.
never did it, we did it in person one time.
Yeah, which wasn't even here. That was like when Koppel was in town, and we did it at a WeWork. But yeah, Alistair's here, and I wanted an excuse to make him some ridiculous burgers. And so I did that for lunch, and then we thought, well, we probably need to make this valuable in some way for someone else. And so we're doing a live stream. Alistair's been working a whole bunch on branching along with a whole bunch of other stuff. And so we thought it would be a great time to show the whole process of starting a new project, waiting for Docker to download all of the images, and then, setting up a branching workflow from scratch. So this could go horribly wrong. It could go horribly well.
But I know it's gonna go great. Have faith.
Yeah,
we'll see how we go. I think this is a really good example to show, just because it's kind of a production workflow.
Yeah.
Of using Supabase. So we'll be starting with the CLI, which, if you haven't used the Supabase CLI, it's actually probably one of my favorite things in Supabase.
It's pretty awesome.
It's people need to get on it, and then we'll take that on through to branching and pray to the demo gods, because if it isn't obvious, we haven't done the most preparation for this stream.
Just to be fair, the amount of preparation that went into the burgers definitely makes up for the lack of preparation that went into this. So I made Alistair burgers from scratch, and I made like the buns from scratch. I didn't actually tell you, I minced my own meat. Yeah, and so this was half brisket, half chuck steak, which I minced and then formed patties and then smashed and made delicious smash burgers. Jason Langsdorff would be very proud of us. And the buns themselves were like potato buns, where I even exclusively cooked mashed potato the night before. Like we didn't even eat it for dinner. I just cooked mashed potato so that I could put it in the burgers the next day. So I spent like 3 days preparing your lunch today and no time preparing the stream.
And it was worth it. Let's be honest.
I wish you all could have joined us for that's what we should have streamed.
Streaming burgers.
We were so prepared for the burgers.
It would have been impressive, but yeah. But anyway, we're going to try and do it in about an hour. It's very optimistic, so
yeah,
we'll see how we go. But we're just going to cheeky next project, perhaps. Next.js. We have a starter, but are we just going to go from scratch?
I think we're just going to go from scratch.
We're just going to go from scratch. Let's do it from scratch. Why not?
I guess we don't need to be building much of the application. This is more going to be based around the actual, like the branching collaborative aspect of it, right?
Yeah.
And so we don't even need to really connect. We can, but we don't need to connect the Next.js project to Supabase at all. We could just be creating it.
We can. Let's do it. Let's just
right.
go.
Let's see how far we get. So we want a new Next.js app. Do we have a name for this one?
Oh, Tyler, are you still? Tyler's saying, "Can we see the burgers?" Did I take a picture of that? Let me see.
Oh yeah, you could hold it up to the screen.
But
definitely.
Tyler, I feel like you were the best at naming all of our projects. So if you got any names, will I find?
Yeah. Well, we just to also like give some context.
Wait, where's the cameras? Oh, is it gonna focus? We need to hide our faces.
Maybe go a little bit closer.
Oh,
It'll find the face in the picture.
it's
This is not like it's like a censored, like inappropriate picture.
we just have to see a tiny picture.
Just cover our faces as it gets closer. Nah, it's not gonna pick it up. We will have to work out a way.
Why don't I just airdrop you the picture and you can show it on the screen?
All right, let's do that.
It's all technology is too hard.
It is. Raise the volume a bit. We can actually raise the volume a bit.
You got a whole.
Let's do that.
I mean, we got a monitor here, so.
How is that? That's actually getting pretty close to peaking. It might be a bit of a problem that we're both sitting here like sharing a mic.
We just have to do some ASMR.
Yeah. We'll fix it in post. just not on the stream.
Okay, Tyler, I'll send you the picture later.
It's too
it's
hard.
all too complicated.
You have no idea like how long we've spent. So we started off, trying to use one thing for this, which we thought was configured. It didn't work. And so we've gone to completely configuring OBS from scratch today. And so that's why we're only going out on YouTube and not Twitter and Twitch and everything else. But we're here. And we're actually moving, which we weren't before. So that's fantastic. We've come a long way. All right, let's go to the screen. Alistair, what are we doing first? We need a name.
We need a name.
Damn, we're back to that point. We had such like big ideas for how much we were going to build in this stream. We were planning to like build out a whole system. We're planning to use TUS and like resumable uploads.
All my favorite things in Supabase, but we've got an hour now, and we're already stuck on naming it.
Yeah. We're just going to call it Brancher.
Okay.
And we're going to go with all the defaults. So we'll have Tailwind, we'll have TypeScript, all the good things, all the things that you would want in an app. You can monitor the chat from there because I can't see it anymore.
Don't worry, I'm on it.
Excellent.
So let us know where you're joining from. That's what we used to do. Where are you all watching from? We used to love seeing where everyone was coming from.
Yeah, I wonder if we still have like a script. I feel like we had a whole spiel to do at the start. And we had our Supabase ads for a little bit. We were like running all the ads at the start. It was great. So we have a project now. So we can change into Brancher and we can open this one up. Actually, I'll open up into my teaching profile in VS Code and
nice.
Get rid of all of this stuff. And we have an app. And then we can just do this stuff from here.
Perfect. What did you do with the arc window, though? That's the question.
Hey!
There we go. It's there.
So let's rearrange some things and do this and do not that, do this and some of this, and we have...
With a bit of luck.
A project.
There you go.
Excellent.
Magic.
This says stream finished.
Well, that's the old stream. Look,
okay.
we're still definitely live.
Okay, good. Good.
All right, we've got... Let's see. We've got Colorado, USA. What's up, Will? We got
Tyler's joining us from Japan.
Of course. I want to go back to Japan.
I would love to go to that.
Benjamin, Germany. How's it going? Jonas, Germany as well. Cairo, Egypt. South Korea.
Wow. Good morning from Germany as well. So we're...
Yeah, what time?
Oh man, there's lots of people joining us from all over. Yeah, because there was this running joke back when we used to do the Supabase happy hour where it didn't matter what time we ran the stream. It would always, like, the only people that would join us live would be people where it was 2 a.m.
2 a.m. It's the developer time.
And so I wonder where it's 2 a.m. Oh, it sounds like maybe Egypt or Germany. It's probably
Germany,
2 a.m.
it's like 8 a.m., I think, thereabouts.
Right.
Anyway, we're on a time crunch. We got to focus up.
So we've got a project running. Is that all we wanted to cover in the stream?
Yeah. I mean, where do we want to start with let's start with the Supabase stuff. Let's start with the CLI.
Okay. So it's gone. The whole project's gone. So if we run npx Supabase init, is this where we want to start?
That is exactly where we want to start. What a wonderful command.
So what's this doing for us, Alistair?
Well, it's grabbing the Supabase CLI and setting up the Supabase folder where you can store a bunch of migrations, also config for your project, or functions as well if you use Supabase Edge functions.
Do we want...
We got a very advanced water delivery
I'm
system.
terrified of Alistair, wetting any of the synths, and so I've confiscated his water, and
There you go,
I
thanks.
let him know when he's allowed to have a sip,
Yep.
and then I put it well and truly out of reach.
We can set that up. It's fine.
So we do want...
Yeah, why not? We'll go... I don't think we'll be doing any function stuff today, but
Okay.
yeah.
So this has set up this folder here, Supabase, which has a bunch of config stuff in it, and then we can get things running with npx Supabase start, right?
Yep. So this will set up a full copy of basically what we have in the cloud when you go and create a new Supabase project running locally on your laptop, which is great because you know on the free plan we only give you I think 2 projects.
2 free projects,
but
maybe 1 project per org or something.
Here, while you're developing, you can have unlimited.
Yeah.
You have as many as you like. So
yeah. And we should call out that this does use Docker.
Yeah.
And that's why we're pulling down a whole bunch of images, because I haven't run this in a while, and we've got to pull down the internet. So hopefully that's not destroying the stream.
It's done. Oh, it did drop there for a second.
Ooh.
I saw, but
Ooh.
it went orange.
Orange means good. Red means bad.
Yeah, it's really great because it works offline as well. So if you're on a long plane ride and you want to, hard mode develop an app without Google.
What are you going to develop on your plane ride back to Singapore?
That's a good question. Well, I'll let you know at the end of it.
I guess you'll be finishing this app that we barely get started once it's downloaded all of these images.
Yeah, no, but we'll go through the migration flow first. So, I guess unless anyone has some other ideas for what we could build, I think we'll stick to the blog post example.
That's true.
Posts, comments, everyone knows what's going on.
We're probably going to keep it pretty simple. Just the thing that we're highlighting is branching and this whole workflow. But yeah, if there's something, don't just say build an entire multi-tenant crazy database like everyone always says anytime we ask this question. But if you have a simple kind of schema
that's not a to-do list,
then let us know, because otherwise you're about to get the next step up from a to-do list, which is a blog with a one-to-many relationship to comments.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, while this is going, we could start writing a migration, perhaps. I don't know if it'll let us do it the same if you click the plus button and open up a new terminal.
He's wild.
What is it? NPX Supabase migrations. Is it migration or migrations? Migrations.
Migrations new?
Yeah. And then no, it's not. It's migration.
Migration new.
Every time. Never get that right.
Oh, it's neither.
It's the area. The text is too big. We need to give it a name. That makes sense. Posts, maybe, for our post table.
Love it. And so this has created a new migration over here in our migrations folder. So under here, it's given us a timestamp for that migration. And
we're running as well, which is
perfect.
Great.
Excellent. So we can get this out of the way. This has given us an empty file that is basically going to track any migrations, any SQL code that we want to write as a migration to take things from one state to another in our database.
Yep. Let's have a look before we start writing a migration. We can have a look at the local dashboard just to show that it's all there.
Oh yeah, in which case we wouldn't even necessarily need to.
Do you know the port? I can never remember that. It's printed out in the 54321. It might be. Ah, well done.
Look at that. I work at Supabase. Boom, boom.
Yeah, I'm not. I even have a bunch of T-shirts with it. It's so you can tell I've come from Singapore. I'm like,
yeah. Just Alistair didn't have this jacket when he arrived in Melbourne. He wasn't expecting it to be this cold.
I had to buy a new jacket. It's so cold here. It's ridiculous. What even? 10 degrees. It says drizzle.
Yeah, it was feeling very icy before. So we have a full, the full Supabase stack is running locally, like Alistair was saying. So we have a GraphQL server, we have this dashboard, we have a Postgres server.
Authentication, storage, it's all of Supabase, yeah.
Yeah. And so we can just click through here. Rather than creating a migration, we can actually create it directly from the GUI, right?
Yeah, we can, but I like migrations.
All right. He's a change man. He used to used to do everything through the dashboard, and then he stopped doing Supabase happy hours and learned how to write Postgres, and now he wants to do it all raw.
We got a couple of comments coming in here. Will says, wouldn't mind a blog, rebuilding my own scene. Well, here you go.
Perfect.
You can use branching with it, hopefully. Hopefully it helps you out.
Look, I can even do this bit. Create table posts, and we want probably an ID. We're going to make it a big int.
Are we?
Yep. And so we're going to future-proof ourselves for the amount of blog posts that we're going to write.
You don't want a UUID then? Really? Future-proof ourselves?
No, I'm off UUIDs. We used to be all about UUIDs in the on the Supabase happy hour.
I'm still all over them.
We're going to go big int because I've recently learned about them, and I can explain to you that a big int is an 8-byte integer versus a regular int, which is a 4-byte integer, which means we can only store like 2 billion blog posts, which just isn't enough. So we need our ludicrous number that's never going to overflow, which is an 8-byte integer. And then I even know all of this stuff from a video that I've done quite recently. So we want to say that we want this to generate always, meaning every time we create a new post, we want it to generate the ID for us. And we want that as identity, which I don't actually remember what the point of that is. And we also want it to be our primary key.
That seems explicit.
It is.
Yep.
It is. I think it's maybe it's generated. Uh-oh. We'll find out very soon.
We can show off the debugging of the migrations.
So then we want a title, which is going to be of type text, I assume. We probably don't want this one to be null, right?
Yeah, that seems reasonable.
And we probably want an is published field, which I guess would be a boolean because we want that to be true or false. And we probably want that to be not null and default to false, probably.
Sure.
So it starts off as an unpublished blog post, and then we can publish it if we would like.
Yeah, are we going to have any content in our blog post, or is they just titles? Fun little...
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
Fun little...
Whoops. How about we have a content field, which is also of type text, and maybe that could be optional.
Why not? We'll spice things up.
Yeah. Do we want to create our comments now?
No, we'll do that in a...
We need a point to have migrations. We need to actually add stuff. Now, Alistair, do I add my insert statements to migrations? Is this where I add demo data for my database?
Well, I'm glad you asked. It's almost like you set up that question. If you look in the sidebar there, good, we're not covering it. There is another file called seed.sql. So locally and with branching, as we'll see in a bit, this file gets run so we can have some test data. Cool. So maybe let's throw in an example blog post.
So we want to insert into posts, and the tables we need to enter are content, title and content. I guess
we'll
that's
it.
Is published. Defaults to.
I mean, we can make published blog posts as a test. Why not?
Yeah. All right. So let's say is_published. So yeah, just to cover that, in case you're not super familiar with Postgres, when you have a default value for a column, it means that you don't need to provide it when you create a new or insert a new row into that table, but you can override it. So isPublished will automatically be set to false, but if we want to pass it a specific value, then we can. And so the values that we want to pass... I've started laying things out like this now. I don't know how I feel about it. How do you feel about it?
I wish I could tell you, because I have an auto formatter in my, on save, like Prettier, but unlike Prettier, it is terrible, and it does whatever it wants, and I've just learned to accept it. So, formatting SQL... I can't have opinions. I'm not allowed.
Okay. Well, we're going to do this and just have like a second post, the content of my second post, which is going to not be published, and then a third post.
Really riveting blog post articles we've got here.
Absolutely, yeah. You just wait for the comments. The comments are going to be next level.
Perfect. One thing, if we jump back over to the migration, that I would like to point out, that the dashboard does for you, but doesn't happen automatically when it's a migration, because it's all up to you. You got the full power of a SQL file. RLS isn't enabled by default, which we do in the dashboard. We turn that on by default. So you want to enable RLS?
Ooh, do I want to enable RLS? Is it literally enable RLS?
That would be too easy. No, it's alter table posts maybe. I need it to get a cheat sheet going here.
I reckon it's that.
Yeah, enable row level security.
Ah, so close. Row level security is the rest, right? So alter table posts, enable row level security.
Seems reasonable.
What does this do?
We don't need to go through RLS again every time.
It's been years since we've gone through it. We haven't done a happy hour in forever.
It says it right there. Security.
All right. It automatically denies all requests by default, and so no one can select insert, update, or delete. If you want to enable any of those actions, then you need to write a policy. So you write a policy specifically for one of those actions, usually for a group of people or one individual user or whatever. And so here what we're doing is we're just basically switching off all of those actions. So no one can touch our table, which is what you want to do by default. And then you want to create an allow list of things that you actually want to enable.
And let's do that. Just create a public policy just for everyone to read.
It's wild.
Because
create policy.
Yeah. Look, it's create policy, and then you give it a name. Allow everyone, whatever we want to call it.
Allow read access.
Sure, whatever.
To posts.
Yeah, whatever you like. And then on posts, you don't need for select. Wow.
Let's do this.
Okay, formatting, yeah.
On posts for select using... Is it using?
Yeah, using true. And you got to put that in parentheses, I believe. Yeah.
Boom.
So that will just allow... Basically, we got back to where we were without turning RLS on, because RLS blocks everything by default, secure. And then, yeah, we've just... brought it back on,
but just for the select action, right?
Just for the
so
select
no one can
action.
insert, delete, or update anything in this table. They can only read from it, but anyone can read.
Oh, it's the look who's popped in the chat. What's
up,
up, Jason?
Jason! Our
Good to see you.
Old casuals are coming back. This is amazing.
Amazing indeed.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us again. Yeah. Let us know in the chat if you want us to bring this back, because I feel like we could. Tyler, let us know in the chat. Would you be keen to bring back the happy hour?
You've got to fly to Australia though.
Yeah.
And we can fit you.
You're not in Australia. I mean, you are right now. I don't mean for this stream. I mean, should we do? Maybe we should just do it less frequently, and then it wouldn't be such a.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Anyway, let us know.
Yeah.
Continuing on.
Yeah. All right.
Where were we? Let's run these.
Run it.
Run it. Yeah. Let's run the thing.
How do you run it?
Well, there's a couple of different ways. You can run it one by one, or my preferred method is just to, whenever I write a migration, is just to reset my whole local database every time. So I'm like starting fresh.
Cool.
So it's really easy. Supabase DB reset, I believe.
Boom.
So that will nuke whatever was in our local database and then run through whatever migrations are there, and then finally finish up by running our seed file. So yeah, you can see it's just shut down the old database, and then it's setting up the new one. You can see
it's generated. My bad. It was actually meant to be generated always. That's why it's pinky purple now.
Pinky purple. Yeah.
I knew it as soon as I hit run. I was thinking, I'm sure it's.
Did you save the file? It doesn't look like it's.
All right. So begin generated always as identity primary key.
Or you can just use UUIDs and you don't have to remember all of that.
See, I was so keen for UUIDs, and then all of the database people told me it was wrong. They told me that you can't. It takes Postgres longer to work out where things are when you're using a UUID, because there's no, it can't do...
And how big is your blog post table?
It's a big one! We're expecting over 2 billion, at least 3 billion blog posts in this. That's going to be a problem.
Okay, perfect. Let's jump into the dashboard and see our local dashboard and see if it's all set up. And yeah, look there's a post table.
Post table.
And there you go.
That's amazing. So not only has it pulled down our whole database, rebuilt it from scratch, run all of our migrations, but it's also run that seed file and actually populated it with data.
Very cool. I'm getting ambitious, John. Can we pull this post table in Next.js and just list out the posts? It doesn't have to look good.
Yeah, I mean, like, we probably don't need to go through auth and cookies and all of that stuff.
We can just do it on the server.
Yeah, we've got many videos that you can go and check out for that. Yeah, and if RLS isn't looking for a specific user or checking the auth.uid or anything like that, then we can just pull it straight in.
Yeah, it's just it's an offline blog. You can edit the blog posts within Supabase.
I love it. So we're going to go to this page.
We need to npm install Supabase, right?
Yes. Yes.
This is a blank. We do have a couple of starter templates as well if you want things set up for you with auth and everything, but we've gone super simple here. Again, I think there's probably a few more videos on those.
Yes, yeah, check out the channel. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. And yeah, you can get all of those awesome videos. So the reason we're kind of going through what we were just saying is that when you are using any kind of server framework, you want to configure authentication to use cookies rather than local storage. Supabase.js uses local storage by default. We're just going to use Supabase.js here, but if you were doing this in a real application using Next.js, I recommend that when you create your project, you run npx create next app, which is next tool for create. That's what we just used to create our empty Next.js project. But you can specify an example, and there you want to use the with Supabase example. You can also do this through the Supabase CLI tool. I believe it's Supabase Bootstrap.
Supbase, yeah.
And this will open up an interactive window or something like that. Will open up Supbase. If you can spell things correctly, then this will open up an interactive view where you can select a project. You
probably have to choose a directory. Anyway, we're getting off topic. We got to go fast. We're running out of time.
But what we were doing
installing Supabase.js.
So that's what I was saying. Right now, we're just going to install at Supabase/Supabase-JS. But if you were doing this in a real application, you would also install the SSR package. And that's what you use to configure cookies. But that is going beyond the scope of this project. For this project, we're just going to use Supabase.js and just quickly grab all of those posts without doing auth properly.
Because we don't need auth. It's a blog.
It's a blog. You don't need auth.
Like, you could add it for yourself, but that's well with it.
That's a much better way. Yeah, rather than we're doing the wrong thing, we're doing the right thing for this application. Yeah. It just might not be the right thing for your application. All right, so this is going to give us back some data. When we await, which means this needs to be an async function, a call to supabase.from the posts table, we want to select everything.
Yeah, sure.
And we need to import.
Well, we haven't made a Supabase client, right? We got to make one.
It's been a long time since I've actually written Next.js code. A surprisingly long time. I've been spending so much time with Postgres. Yeah, that's wild. All right, we need a Supabase client. And we're going to get that by calling the create client function, which comes in from Supabase/Supabase.js. And here we need to give it
environment variables,
which we can actually set up very quickly. We should show the proper way to do that.
Yeah, we have to for branching.
Yeah. So we are at the rootmost part of our project. We're going to create a new file called .env.local, and in there we are going to put next_public_Supabase_URL, and we are also going to grab an anon key. Where can we grab those from, Alistair?
Within the CLI, I always forget the command. You can run Supabase info or Supabase. Let's try Supabase info, right. And it should print out everything you need for that.
Did you mean init?
No, I meant. What? See, I really can never remember.
You can create a ticket directly from the CLI?
I did not know that.
That's awesome.
That's wild.
I think we need a ticket to say, how do you... Status. Status is the one.
Bobby is asking, what are they building? We are building a blog. Status. Yeah, there you go.
Boom. So we can grab our anon key from here, and we can grab our Supabase URL, which is this one. And just something to mention here, these keys stay the same across all of your projects when you're running locally. So you could actually just copy and paste a .env.local file from another project. If you're running everything locally, these values don't change.
Which is what I do. Yep.
Yeah. And that's the same for the service role key and anything else that you might want to use from there. So we now have these two, and I believe it will have restarted the server.
Well, you turn the server off. It's not even running.
Yeah, it is. It's running in a different...
Ah.
Boom. Boom.
Next, well, it's gotten smart. Reload. Perfect. Magic. All right. I take it all back.
So the way that we access those values in the .env file is with process.env. And then the name of that environment variable. So we're going to say next _public _ Supabase URL, and our next _ blah 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 blah, a non-key.
And we can throw some exclamation marks on there because we're not doing proper TypeScript.
Bang, bang. We are doing... No, yeah, we're not doing proper TypeScript.
Do as we say and not as we do. We're going
What
fast.
this means is, trust me, I got this. So what TypeScript is saying is, this doesn't necessarily exist in every environment. You haven't told me that you're definitely going to declare these variables, but we're saying, we're on it. We got this. We'll make sure that they exist here. We'll make sure they exist in Vercel or wherever we push this to, once we get that build error telling us that the environment variables haven't been declared.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. And then how are we going to output these?
My favorite.
I know exactly what you're going to do.
Pre.
Code.
And then JSON. No, not code. Just straight up.
You don't like the code part?
Well, I just go straight into the
sure.
pre. Let's have a look at what actually changes. We want to do our data, and we want to go null, and we want to go to. So what this does is pretty print it onto the page, which we can see when we refresh here. Hopefully. Yeah.
Amazing.
What does the code tag do?
I actually don't know. I've always just defaulted to using it. So
you may have just found a huge efficiency hack that it looks exactly the same. You're just adding an extra HTML element for no reason. So there you go.
All right, so this is our perfect blog. It's a blog for coders where you've got to read everything in JSON all at once.
Always.
Always. Yeah. So let's push this up to a GitHub repo, I reckon.
I love it.
Yeah. So once again, this is all running locally. So we don't even have a Supabase. We haven't even touched actual Supabase yet.
No.
It's just
Hosted
all offline.
Yeah, no sir.
We could develop the whole app like this, and once we're ready, send it up. But most people probably won't do that. They'll do it bit by bit. So we'll show you what that looks like as well now.
So just to get an idea of what we're trying to build here, how much time do we have left? Yeah, we got heaps of time. This is fine.
Loads. We'll be fine.
So what we're trying to do here is we're trying to build this in a way that is more realistic as to how you would build an application. So like Alistair just said, you would build it in pieces. You might build a feature for blog posts, and then later you want to add comments. And so what we're doing is we are taking... it's kind of like following the GitHub or Git workflow, where we've now worked on this branch or whatever. We've created these changes, and now we want to deploy them up to Supabase, to our hosted production instance, which then everyone has access to.
Yep.
All right. How do we do it?
Well, GitHub is a good place to start.
GitHub repo create.
I have no idea with the CLI. But good luck. I mean, yeah, if you're...
Boom.
GitHub is a good place to store your code when you're working on production apps. I wouldn't suggest Dropbox.
So we want to create a repo called Brancher. Is that what we call this thing?
Sure.
And we'll make it public so people can have access to this. I don't know if this is meant to set it correctly, but mine never sets the remote, so I always have to add origin.
Oh, I would go to GitHub and copy it. Are you just going to... Wow. All right.
Look, there you go.
Okay.
Whoops.
Did you just add the wrong remote?
Remove origin. And then add that one. And what do we call it?
Brancher.
That's right. All right. Is this just going to work?
Now, just push to the ad and everything.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I've got
okay.
aliases going.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it doesn't do the ad. We haven't actually added anything. That's just going to push up the initial.
Okay, I'm glad I asked.
Yeah, all right. So we got git add, and then we want to say git commit -m and give it a message. So this would be like add blog posts.
Sure.
And then what I was actually doing there is git push, and then I think origin and the name of our branch. I think that's what my alias does.
Nice. Okay, now if we jump into GitHub, we hopefully will be... What's the bet John's logged in? Oh, amazing.
Look at that, I just haven't verified things. Just ignore that. I totally use everything the right way.
Brancher.
Our new project.
Nice.
Look at that. It's good to go. What do we want to do now?
Respond to some comments.
Respond to some comments. Congrats on GA, by the way. My company is now adopting Supabase for a huge project. That is awesome to know. Please let us know if you run into any issues or if you need any advice on anything. You have definitely done enough work for the Supabase Happy Hour, Jason, that we are happy to help you. So yeah, let us know. And also just let us know how you go. Give us some feedback. That would be awesome. And yes, we need Copilot for the integrated terminal for sure.
Yeah.
Jason.
Nuxt or Astro starter templates for Supabase Bootstrap. That'd be cool.
We are indeed. So, not sure if I'm allowed to leak this or not, but we're gonna, because it's the Supabase Happy Hour and that's what we do. We are working on a stable version of the SSR package, which will hopefully come out probably in the next couple of months. With that comes... I don't know if I...
It's going to be amazing. All I'll say is I set up the Supabase SSR with Astro because I haven't used Astro before the other day, and it was much easier than it used.
Smooth.
Like it just worked. It's and Astro is super cool. So yes, it's coming. Let's just say that. It's
all right.
coming.
Look, we don't need to say what was happening. We can just leave those hints there that something's happening and a stable version of the SSR package is coming soon. But because there's going to be some changes there, I'm going to wait until that's launched, and then I'm planning to do a remix, Nuxt, and Astro starter. And yeah, it's crazy how simple the code is for the Astro
great.
starter. It's really, really nice. And so yeah, coming soon, but probably not for a month or so.
Sweet.
All right, what are we doing?
Let's just jump into the Supabase folder and remind ourselves of that migration in GitHub, just to show that we've pushed it up. So we can see migrations, and there's our migration. Perfect. All right, now we go over. We have an app. It's amazing. We need to get it out into the world. So we're going to use our favorite stack, which is of course Supabase for our database, and then Vercel for our hosting.
Yep.
But we'll start in Supabase. And we have a happy hour org. So we're going to create a new project in there for our brancher.
And we'll generate...
Yeah, we don't need that.
Secure password. We'll copy it into a password manager. Always copy it into a password manager because this is the last time you'll see it. But you can always generate a new password later if you do get stuck.
And then where do you want to put it?
Let's put it in Sydney.
Okay. Nice
and close to where we are right now. But probably not as close as you are to the Singapore one. You're probably like down the road from it.
All right. Then we sit and watch this spinner for 2 minutes.
It's actually way faster now. I spun up a project recently. I'm like, something has changed. This takes like 30 seconds now. It used to take actually 2 minutes.
Yeah, well, as you can see, there's a cheeky button up in the top, which we're going to be pushing momentarily.
I'm very excited for that. We could actually deploy this to Vercel just while we wait.
Yes, but it won't render out any blog posts yet. Here we go.
Look,
we're here. We're here.
We stalled long enough.
We're here.
That was really the goal. All right. Are we enabling branching now?
Let's go to the tables and just... This is a blank project, right? There's no tables, nothing in there. Now let's do it. Let's enable branching.
Ooh.
So before the stream, I had John connect his GitHub account to Supabase. It's just a one-click, same as Vercel, basically. So that will allow us to...
Should we quickly show where that is, just to...
Well, it will actually show you in that modal. Like, it will prompt you to do it in the normal flow. But we've connected already just to make sure we were signed in. So
I think I've got many
Supabase
tabs open now. All right.
Okay.
What were we doing?
This one. Yeah, that one. Enable branching.
Right.
And then we are going to connect our Supabase project, which you see is called Brancher, to a GitHub repo. So because we already authenticated, we can see all of John's repos here. Yeah, we're going to do that. And then we need to tell it which is our main branch, which is just main again.
Sick.
And then if you click just anywhere, it should validate that the main branch is the main branch. Yep. And then big green button.
Love it. So yeah, something that should be mentioned is this is a pro feature. So this is a paid feature. And so we'll show you what it looks like here if you're only on the hobby project. But you will probably want to upgrade to pro once you see how cool this is, because it makes so much sense when you're working in a team or collaboratively with other people, or even on your own, just with many different features that you're working on.
So now you're actually going to be testing my knowledge of branching now.
Excellent.
Because I'm not sure.
That's why we do the happy hour, to learn how Supabase actually works.
let me just. We'll just do no. So we might need to push up our initial migrations. I'm not sure if it runs them automatically.
Is it something like that?
Yeah.
Let's see.
We need to Supabase link. I hope you copied that database password.
Actually, I think I did. Let's see if it's still in the clipboard.
You can filter.
So this is
brancher. Yeah, that one. And then, is it in the clipboard? Oh,
Did that work?
Does that seems too fast? Yeah. Okay. Whatever. Let's try doing the push
differs
command
from
again.
linked project, so it looks like it linked it to an actual project.
Okay, so the initial migrations, it looks like you have to do, but that's the last time we're going to have to manually run any migration. So we got our post table.
And this is the production version of Supabase. So this is supabase.com, our hosted instance. And look, we got some posts, but I'm assuming this wouldn't run our seed file, right? Because this is assumed to be production.
Yes, so I can't add anything to that. That's exactly right. Seed will only run on feature branches. But anyway, well, let's finish setting up and go over to Vercel and create a project there.
Keep going to ship, which has already passed, but you should go and check out those videos. They were awesome.
And we're not logged in.
Let's hope that everything just works and we don't have to open up the password manager. Yes!
Amazing.
Excellent. All right, so we want to add a new project, and this is already connected to my my GitHub repo. I've shared all of my repos, so I can just import brancher. It's going to automatically detect that that's a Next.js project. The only thing we need to do is set up some environment variables, right?
Well, let's not.
Okay.
Let's go the happy path and just hit deploy and have it fail. We just we'll get a project on there. But this is kind of where hopefully the magic bit of branching shines. This should throw an error now. But anyway, now that we've got a project on Vercel, we can jump back over to the Supabase dashboard, and in the same way we connected GitHub, we can go to settings in here, and then integrations. And you can see if you scroll down, we also have a Vercel integration.
I wonder how this will go if I already have the Vercel integration installed.
Why do you already have it installed?
Because I've used it before. I work at Supabase. I don't know if you know this, but I actually work at Supabase. Let's give it a go. We'll test the sad part.
Interesting. Yeah. I'm not. So have you got it linked to your personal, or are you using it? Can we uninstall it and reinstall it? All right. Let's manage access then, I guess. Oh, scroll down. Actually, is it in here? I forget what the button is to uninstall it. Okay, let's pretend John's starting fresh and he doesn't work at Supabase. And then you.
Does everyone? I mean, we know at least one person in the chat works at Supabase. All right. And now what do I do?
Go back to the Supabase dashboard.
Whoops.
Yeah, that one's broken. This one, and then find the project. There you go. Okay, now you can hit install again.
I'm just gonna close this one so it stops confusing me. And now we're good. All right.
Okay.
So we want to install the Vercel integration.
You saw none of what just happened.
Yeah.
That was
the first time we're clicking this, and I mean, you can tell because I haven't got it installed.
Yeah.
I want to install this for all projects, or you
Sure.
can choose specific projects if you want. Yeah, we'll just go all projects so I can use this again in the future.
And then you want to put it on the happy hour org because that's where our project is. So we're kind of linking our Vercel org to our Supabase org. And now you can actually see this screen is a bit of a spoiler and why we didn't set the environment variables before. Because this what the Vercel integration does is actually syncs up all the environment variables.
Right.
So yeah,
cool.
Go ahead and connect the two things.
Okay, so we want our brancher Supabase project to connect to our brancher Vercel project.
Yep.
Excellent. Right, so this now shares that information, that kind of like secret information from our Supabase project over to that Vercel instance, because we're assuming that both of those are like our production instances, so they should be able to share those values.
So now we've been taken over to Vercel again, which is good, because if we can go into our project, our brancher one, and then go to settings, environment variables, and with a bit of luck,
Woo!
magic.
That is so cool. So there you go, kids. You don't even need to copy. Oh no, we did need the database password. That's right.
Well, just for the initial one.
All right.
But
all right.
Who knows? Maybe not even.
Awesome.
So now we've got all of these, we can redeploy our initial deployment, and it hopefully should just work. Although we do need to add a post.
So we can see that this did error. But even without a post, we should still just get back an empty array.
But yeah, we should get an empty
array. Because the
array.
table exists, we just don't have data in it.
Yeah.
So this will tell us that it failed at some point because it tried to use a Supabase URL that we hadn't actually declared. So perfect. So we can redeploy this one, and we don't want to use the build cache.
Well, while it's doing that, should we add a production blog post so we have something to compare to
That
when
sounds
we have our...
like a very good idea. So if we go over to the table editor and our posts, we can insert a new post for first prod. Oh my God. This is all the stuff that I edit out of those videos that you watch of my stuff. That's why it looks like I can't spell at all. This is actually how it goes when I'm putting together those demos, but I just, edit it out so I look like I know what I'm doing.
Now I know why we stopped doing the happy hour.
Yeah, that's right. I'm sick of all of the...
John couldn't edit himself.
We want this one to be published, and the content can be demo content.
Nice.
Cool. So we have one blog post. So how is this going? You're almost...
that one's the old one. That was the first one. We can get rid of that one. Oh, there you go.
Boom. We are live.
Brancher Delta.
And if we go here, we have an empty array.
It's not going to invalidate though, right? It's built now. It's static. Okay. We'll see that post next time.
You know what we could do just to trick this? So yeah, sorry, to clarify, Next.js does some pretty heavy caching by default. This is one of the things that kind of gets switched off when you configure the SSR package because it knows that it's using cookies. But there is a thing you can export. You can say export
to make it
dynamic.
Yeah, I forget what it's called.
Equals force dash dynamic, I think.
Why is it yelling at you?
Doesn't like that. Export const dynamic.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
That's actual syntax. I'm just gonna say fix caching. I'm just gonna see if this works. It might not, but we can keep building the next thing while we're waiting for that to deploy.
Okay. Yeah, well, let's say I'm your boss and I've come to you and I say, we need comments for our blog.
Oh, I don't know if I can do that, boss. I think I need a couple of sprints for that one.
And I say, too bad.
You need to
get it done now.
All right. Okay, boss. How would we do this? Where would you start?
Let's be good developers, and we're going to check out a new fresh branch, get a fresh Git branch, because we don't want to be pushing to production all the time. In the same way that we're not using Dropbox to store our code, we'll use the features given to us by GitHub. So yeah, we'll add comments, and then we'll do a new migration, I guess.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
So I can even just use my handy history and say npx Supabase migration new, and then this one is going to be add comments. Which probably doesn't follow the convention that I did last time, but whatever.
It's fine.
That's what linting's for. Cool.
Yeah, let's write a migration.
Hey, we know how to do that.
Yep.
We want this one, which is our new empty migration.
Do you want to copy your other table for speed?
I do. Thanks, boss.
Yeah. I'm here optimizing the company.
I like it. So this is going to be comments. It's going to have an ID and maybe just the content. We don't really have, a title for a blog post. I mean, a comment. They're probably always published, so we could just say the post ID that it belongs to. So this is going to need to be the same data type that our post's ID is, which is big int. We can also say that this references. Actually, first we'll say this is not null because we always want it to have a value.
Should we make the content not null as well?
Yes, that's a good idea. Wouldn't really make sense for us to have an empty comment. So we have a post ID, which is a big int. It's not null, and it references the post's ID and specifically the ID column. Sick.
Great.
We then want to enable row level security for comments, and should we do the same thing?
Yeah, same thing.
Nice.
But name the policy as well without. Yep.
Good idea. Awesome.
Great. So we're still in the land of the local.
Just quickly, I don't think. Oh no, I just added something.
Yeah,
Never mind, I did save. All right.
We're still in the land of the local. So let's do a DB reset and then grab these comments in our query, our select query as well, so we can output them to the screen.
Should we seed some quickly?
Sure. Yeah. Although. Let's insert IDs for the posts then as well, right? So we know.
That's a very good idea.
Yeah.
They'd always be 1, 2, and 3, but yes, we.
Oh no, they will. They will. Let's just.
This is a good opportunity to explain what we've already done wrong, or not necessarily wrong, but the reason that this would be a problem is because we actually used generated always. So this means that it will always generate a value and will not give the user the opportunity to override it. So even if we did,
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So if you want to be able to override it, you can say generate default as identity, and then that's the same as setting a default value. And so if there is no value, it will generate an ID, but if you provided an ID, it will accept that. But because we said generated always as identity, we don't actually have control over that. But we could, we're
going fast.
Let's make it fancy. No, man, we're writing some SQL, man. All right. So if we want to insert into comments and we want some content,
and a post ID, right?
And a post ID. Then for the post ID, we could make this just a static value like 1, or we could replace that with a subquery that says select.
This is way too fancy.
ID from the posts table where the title is equal to first post. Look at that.
Okay.
Easy.
Sure.
Second comment.
Oh, you just copy and paste it, please.
All right, let's just get rid of these. And how about we can also test out what this looks like when you don't have comments on particular posts. So we could say this can be the second comment, and we can also put that on the first post. And then we can put a third comment
on the second post. Makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Can I have a semicolon at the end, please?
You can.
Thank you.
All right. Does that make sense to everyone in the chat? We are just doing a subquery because we don't necessarily know what the ID is going to be. It will be 1, 2, and 3. But just to be fancy, the way that you would write this if you were actually, building this into your application would be that you probably wouldn't know the ID. You'd probably need to look up the ID for the specific post. All right.
Okay.
DB reset.
So once again, we're not resetting our production DB. You can actually do that if you want for some reason by specifying the linked flag, but that kind of scares me. But you never know, might be useful. Why do we have to pull the images again?
I don't know. All right. Did you want to put a 1 in the chat if you want Alistair to have a sip of water?
Am I allowed?
We'll allow it.
Oh, thanks. For we're a bit behind the chat over here.
Oh yeah, let's address some chats. So would love some Svelte videos. Yeah, I haven't got a huge amount of experience with Svelte. Andrew, who is no longer on the DevRel team, has a whole bunch of experience. He has been creating some Supabase and SvelteKit content, and so yeah, hopefully he'll create some more. But have you ever used SvelteKit?
I have looked at it, as I have many things, but
Yeah.
never really got deep into it. Yeah, but it looks cool, and
Yeah.
with the like, I can imagine with the SSR package as well, it works the same way. So
It does, yeah.
should be pretty cool.
I feel like there was a big, like, in my personal journey, it was like, Next.js is awesome, and it's somewhat confusing maybe for some people, especially with the changes of the app router and things. I think a lot of people were like, Svelte is so simple, just use Svelte. It's just easy. And I feel like I got that same experience with Astro when I started learning Astro. I was like, it's just so simple. Everything is just, it just works. It's lovely. And so I just haven't like had the need to reach for something else. But yeah, Svelte is awesome.
Nice one. All right, back to it. Let's jump to the local dashboard again and see our new table. Is this
Maybe that's what I closed before.
the local
So we
one?
want 5, 4, 3, 2, 3.
Okay, so there we go. We got a new, and
Sick.
it works. They're all linked up.
My beautiful subquery worked.
Are you still running the local next server? Can we go localhost 3000 and see?
Yes.
Is that
No.
which one's that? Okay, let's modify.
It's not running.
It's not running.
That's almost a command. All right. We want to pull these in, I'm assuming.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's just do it in the select. So like select star and then grab comment star as well. There you go. Too easy. That'll do us.
Done.
Magic.
It's just too easy.
What a great blog.
This is, to be fair, I'd probably prefer to read a blog like this than the convoluted ad-filled blogs that I end up being forced to read currently.
Okay. Well, let's pretend as your boss that I haven't seen this yet. So
Okay.
you're going to want to give me some sort of, preview because I'm non-technical. I can't look at the code. I just want a thing that I can use that's not production, that's separate,
But how are we going to do that? If we only have local and we have production, how are we going to give you a preview without pushing to production?
Well, it's almost like the purpose of this live stream. You keep setting me up, John. Let's push it up to GitHub and see what happens.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we are going to we're going to need to add this stuff, and then we've got all of that in staging, so we're going to git commit it with a message that's like add comments, and then we're going to git push origin main with my nice little alias of push.
And then, because you have other developers on your team as well, you want them to review this code. So you're going to open up a PR like normal in GitHub. Just
we're going to go to the
don't even bother.
Rather than me trying to struggle through doing this on the command line, Alistair would like me to just come and create a pull request
click
like
the
this.
one button. That's fine.
Oh, it's not fine.
Okay.
We need to add we'll just say to do create pull request. So what's this? What's happening here? What's all this stuff that it's checking? What's this Supabase? What? There's a Supabase CI part? What's that?
So this is part of the GitHub integration that we installed originally, and it goes along with the Vercel one. So if you scroll up a bit, you can see it's actually commented. Well, both Vercel and Supabase have commented on our PR. Vercel is deploying a preview, and Supabase is deploying a full Supabase project within your existing project that's completely separate. So it's not going to deal with the production data. It's all going to be nice and safe and separate.
Right.
But because it's a staging environment, it will run our seed file so we can have our example blog posts.
So this is the benefit of creating these migration files and like documenting all of the changes to your database, because then this can scale up a database that's in exactly the same state as our local environment, right? With that new comments feature.
Yeah.
This is mind-blowing.
So
Who built this?
there's one piece left that if you got a keen eye in the chat, you might be thinking, well, it's all very well and good. I've got this Vercel one, but the environment variables in Vercel are pointing at my production, right? So, oh look, it's all green. What a magical thing.
All green.
So let's jump over to Vercel first, actually, and we'll see, because that's deploying. This one? Go inspect. We'll go into the dashboard first. And then we'll go to just the brancher project at the top and look at the settings and go back to the environment variables. So one thing I didn't actually know about Vercel is you can set environment variables per branch. So if you look on here, you can see all these environment variables are actually saying Supabase URL on that feature add comments branch. That is so cool.
I legitimately didn't know this.
Yeah.
I'm not just pretending now. This is
so
sick.
That specific Vercel deployment will be pointed to our new Supabase branch because we have those two integrations working together. So if you go, oh, here we go.
Might just leave it. I think the little one is knocking on the door, wanting to come in.
Well, it's exciting times.
It is. It's almost dinner time.
Hungry.
Hang on.
Here we go.
All right.
I'll be John for a second. Let's see. Let's steal his mouse. Let's see. So let's go over to that new deployment that we just went on, and look, we're going to get a spoiler from Vercel with the preview, but you can actually see this is our here you go, John. Look, amazing. We have just opened the Vercel preview, and it's our preview data from our seed file.
What? That's amazing. So I guess a way to think of this is we've now got these different layers. So we've got locally we can run a completely local stack of Supabase, and we can add test data and stuff. We then got production when we're ready to push that to prod and actually deploy our application to our users. But then this is an entire copy of our whole local instance, but running on the interwebs. So we can send it to our boss. We can send it to our super strict boss who wants us to make sure we finish this before 5 p.m. on a Friday, which is in 9 minutes. So we've got to get this to production so the boss doesn't dock our pay.
Yep. Do you have any power? Is that gonna reach?
I can give you this power and hope that we have enough battery on this to last until the end of the stream. It'll be fine.
2 laptops. Anyway, yeah, let's jump back into the Supabase dash. Oh, actually, before we go on there, this is the only thing with Arc. I can't see any URLs, so I don't know which one we're looking at. I still don't know which one we're looking at.
What would you like?
I wanted to, so if we open the production deployment of the app,
Vercel or of
our app that we've deployed, like one of the create next apps. I just don't know which one.
As in the one that's live on this one.
Yeah, that's
our branch Delta.
So you can see we've still only got, we don't have comments in there yet because that's all on a separate branch.
Yeah.
It's all just as it was. The data's separate. It's all in there.
So our preview one shows those comments and shows that seed file, but we haven't got those in prod because this is our actual production database with actual production data. We probably don't want to blast away all of our users and everything every single time we push a new feature.
Yep. So let's jump back into the Supabase dashboard and have a look at what the actual branches look like. Is that local?
This one's one of them. We can do this.
Yeah. Oh my word! So many tabs.
This one.
That one.
This one is production.
Now, if you look in here, we've only got our post table. This is our production table. But at the top of the screen, you can see that it says main production, and these are actually mapped to our Git branches. So if you want to interact with your branching instance, which is within your brancher project, you can see this is actually a preview branch.
That is so cool.
So this is run all whatever migrations were there on that branch, automatically synced it to Vercel.
Right. I imagine if we added stuff here, it wouldn't add it to our seed files. So that wouldn't appear locally. It wouldn't appear if we redeployed this and and did it all again, I'm concerned that we're frozen over here.
The camera's frozen, but okay. The stream's still... You guys stop moving. Oh, yes. The screen is properly... Well, we're nearly at the end.
Nearly at the end.
It's not the screen, though.
I shouldn't have disconnected that.
Oh, no.
All right. We're back. We are moving.
Oh, we are moving.
All right. I don't know why that did it. That actually doesn't make any sense because that's not even what the camera's plugged into. So awesome. Good job, Elgato, once again. So now we want to push this up to production, right?
Yeah.
So let's say, all right, so if we go back onto, again, our main branch, we can see that we only have posts. We don't have the production version of our database. And in Vercel, we don't have the production version of our Next.js application. So how would we go about deploying both of those?
We push the big green button in GitHub.
I love it.
Yeah, as your boss, I've given you approval for your new changes. You got to get these tabs under control.
Let's just go to GitHub. Let's start again. Going to brancher. And then we have our pull requests. And so our boss has said, all good. Look, there's even a tick there like they have. So let's say we've got a looks good to me comment with a thumbs up and we want to merge this pull request.
Yes, we do.
So I imagine now we've merged this, and so that's just GitHub. So I imagine we'll need to now still go and push our production changes to our Supabase instance and then push our production changes to Vercel. Surely this all isn't magically connected and happen for us, right?
Amazingly, it's magically all connected.
What? That's amazing. So this is going to do all of that work for us.
Have you got an Oscar incoming?
It's so much more fun in person to really get your reaction. Usually it's this delayed 5-second delay reaction. It's not as satisfying. This is great.
Oh, I can't handle it. Let's what do we want to look at for probably the Supabase dashboard. So once we merge a PR on GitHub, the Supabase should, well, there you go, it popped right in there. We have a comments table. So it listens for the merge event, and whenever it merges, it will run whatever new migrations are there.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
So if we want to add a prod comment, and we can link this to our one post.
That'll do, and then we can go to the production site as well. So Vercel does the same thing. It listens for the merge event, and will redeploy whatever new changes, code changes that came along.
Right. So if we refresh, this should now have our comment, although maybe
or the caching is still
not working.
Maybe the force dynamic didn't do the thing.
Maybe not. So what we could also do is import this package from next/headers, which should mark this when we call it. So const cookie jar equals cookies, and then if we also just print out our data and the cookie jar,
seems
just so
safe.
that we're actually using the cookie. Yeah, this is safe. This is what you want to do on production, is print out all of the cookies, and it's not saving for some reason, so we're just going to pretend that we're still doing something.
It's given up. VS Code has knocked off for...
Oh no, it's saved. All right. So now...
Are you still on that branch though? We just go back to pushing to main because YOLO.
Okay, so if we get... Whoa! Stop. Get out. What's happened?
Colon Q.
All right. So if we check out... We should still have the changes. If we check out main...
How does Git work?
Git stash save, Git checkout main, Git stash pop. Done. So what happens if we push directly to main?
Well, we don't have any migrations or anything, so I mean, I'd recommend using PRs for everything, but I mean, just here it's fine. We're just changing the code, so we just need Vercel to redeploy.
That's true. We don't need
Supabase to do anything.
Okay, so if we say add no cache then push this up
Merge conflict.
to main.
Come
We
on.
won't have merge conflicts. Why do we have merge conflicts?
Because you didn't pull first.
Oh, yeah. This will work. This will totally work. Oh, it did totally work.
Exciting times.
Okay, so now we're just pushing these changes directly to our main branch, which will trigger a redeploy in Vercel. It won't change our Supabase instance because we haven't changed anything about the database, but here we're just trying to force it to not cache heavily.
I mean, it should just happen from the redeploy anyway, right? Regardless of whether it.
Yeah. So it'll even look like it's fixed, even if it's not. I like what you're saying. Oh, we should see our cookies.
Our cookies come through, yeah.
Which should be empty, right? Because this is
there shouldn't be much.
new domain.
We can.
So we can check how our deployment is going here.
37 just now.
That it's ready. So if we go back to this one, which is our production instance, and refresh.
Oh, it's gone. Maybe we should have tested it locally.
We probably should have tested it locally. Let's just quickly check. We are actually at this thing. Oh, right. No, it's just really wide.
It's super wide. Wait, why do you have tokens in there?
Shh. All right. Anyone who's joined the live stream, don't look at the values.
Stop. I disabled that to go back thing. It's very annoying.
Yeah, it's really annoying. All right, look. The fact that the cookies are printing out is proof that this is working.
Even though you can see a bit of a JWT or something.
All right, look. We're gonna claim that is fixed. We could just not print out the cookie jar and then,
and just rely on the redeploy to see the data.
Yeah.
But either way, seeing the data isn't the exciting part. You've seen the exciting part of. All the whole flow.
Yes, so this flow is amazing. Like you can work with a whole team of people, a really collaborative workflow of being able to. We didn't show you here, but you can also pull down changes that someone else has pushed to a Supabase project, and so it's kind of like exactly the same as that GitHub workflow where you create a branch, you create your changes, you build a feature or whatever. That feature probably contains some database changes, and so you track those along with your feature that you're building, and then you deploy all of that, or you open a PR with all of that in GitHub. It automatically deploys all of that to a preview branch, which is automatically configured to talk between the Vercel preview branch and the Supabase preview database. And then when you're ready to merge it, you click merge pull request, and it automatically deploys all of that stuff. And launches your feature to the world. This is incredible.
Glad you think so. Yeah.
This stream was really fun. Are there any comments we quickly need to go over before we bail out of here and enjoy our Friday night?
Well,
look, you can see it's deployed. It actually works.
It's done it. There you go. Success. We can enjoy a beer on a Friday night.
Love it.
And
thank you so much for joining us for this very special Supabase happy hour. I'm not sure we'll be able to get back to doing these every week, but maybe we could do them on more of a regular basis.
In a while,
yeah, maybe we could do them every month or every couple of months. So let us know. Hit us up on Twitter and let us know if there are any particular topics you would like us to cover in a Supabase happy hour. And definitely give us a subscribe on YouTube. Do you want people to follow you on Twitter?
Well, you could show both of our Twitters so you can tweet at us.
See, we used to have all of this.
All the tabs set up.
Yeah. I think it's... Yeah, okay. I should know my Twitter. John Myers _IO. And you can find Alistair at...
Oh, yep. He's done it. Odd spelling. Good luck, everyone.
Yes.
Yeah,
there we go. We need to sign in. But if you go to twitter.com/Alistair, spelled like that, and then Young, spelled like that.
Like Young.
Yeah. Then you can follow Alistair as well. But thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you